What's up everybody, Sean here and thank you for joining me. Today we are reviewing the new Feynman Q watch from Feynman Timekeepers. So up till now, I've not actually reviewed any Quartz watches, and that's not because I have anything against them. I just don't normally think to look at watches that are not mechanical or automatic apart from Casio, but I do think that this one does deserve a proper look at. So the Feynman Q follows up from their previous launch of the Feynman V, which is Feynman Timekeepers' first attempt at a square case with a steel bracelet. I'm told that the Q in Feynman Q stands for Quartz and Quirky, and I have found this to be quite true of this watch. Feynman Timekeepers were kind enough to send me this watch for review, and all they asked is that I give my honest opinion whether it be good or bad. So this watch comes in a case size of 34mm and has a lug-to-lug distance of 38mm. Its lug width is 18mm and it is 7mm thick. The case is made of stainless steel and it has a sapphire glass crystal covering the top. On the back, there is a simple screwed down case back, and behind it is a Ronda caliber 1014 quartz movement. It has a rated power reserve of up to 40 months and a water resistance of 50 meters, and it retails for just under $600 US. So the Feynman Q series comes in 4 different dial types across 2 different case and strap combinations. The turquoise and lapis dials come in a standard stainless steel case paired with a black leather strap, while the tiger's eye and malachite dials come in a gold colored stainless steel case paired with what I would call a burnt orange leather strap. These were originally paired with an olive green strap, but Feynman introduced this new strap color in their latest batch, which at least to me is a much better pairing. All 4 dials are cut from gemstone, meaning every dial is unique. The piece that I have for this review is the turquoise dial variant. So just looking at the case, you already start to see the quirkiness of this watch. It's as if following the launch of the Feynman V, their itch for designing square cases was still there, and that resulted in this admittedly unique design. While technically still a 4-sided square, the slight wave along each side gives it a less squared off look and feel, which I think does a good job to soften it up and add some personality to it. They didn't skimp on the details either. A flat brushed bezel on the top meets a polished beveled edge before transitioning into a very intentional coin edge finish along all 4 irregularly shaped sides. From my engineering background, I can tell you that this is not the easiest thing to machine, and speaking with the founder confirmed that it was a challenge to manufacture while still keeping the case this thin. The case back is a relatively straightforward backplate held down by 4 screws, 1 on each corner. While simple, I think it is a pretty elegant solution in completing the overall case design with the sandwich coin edge. The crown is simple, subtle, and it gets the job done without getting in the way, especially considering that you'll probably only be using it once every few years. Well, the case is only half the story though, as the Feynman Q also comes with a very unique dial selection. I specifically chose the turquoise dial for this review as I felt it was the most neutral, and I didn't want it distracting me away from the core qualities of this line of watches. The only markings on this dial are the indicators for the brand's signature small seconds layout. This gives the face a very clean look while still remaining interesting due to the organic dial pattern together with their trademark lizard tail small seconds hand. Telling the time accurately is definitely not a strong point of this watch. It's probably not even the point of this watch, but it is surprisingly easy to get a decent read of the time at a glance, especially if you are used to reading analog faces. Regarding the movement, there really isn't all that much to be said. It is a Swiss quartz movement from Ronda, which means you get a quality, accurate and reliable movement that's built to last, as far as quartz movements go at least. An estimated 40-month battery life means this watch is almost always ready whenever you decide to put it on. The included leather strap is made by their longtime partner, E-Leather. While this looks like an alligator leather strap, it is actually an embossed calf leather strap. At this price point, I think it is a fair trade-off, especially considering how soft it is, unlike many stock straps from other watches in this price range. The softness is very suitable for wearers of this size of watch, as stiffer straps tend to bulge near the lugs, especially on smaller wrists. And of course, if the stock strap is not to your liking, the 18mm lug width makes it very easy to swap out for aftermarket alternatives. Wearability is excellent, which is expected of a watch this size. Even on much smaller wrists, the downward lugs and soft leather strap drape over the wrist like soft linen. Despite its size, it doesn't look all that small and is ironically highly legible. It is probably due to how flat the case is, which is something I've found makes small cases look and feel larger than their numbers usually suggest. In the time I've worn it out and about, I barely noticed it on my wrist because of how light and supple it is. And luckily, it is also very thin because that goes a long way to minimizing knocks and dings, especially when you forget that you are even wearing it. So who is this watch for exactly? Well, I think it's good for almost anyone, whether male or female and anything in between. The fact that it is a quartz makes it all the more convenient for most people as a grab and go option. The sales numbers that I've been told also reflect this, as many of the men who purchase it do also end up buying one for their wives and girlfriends. To be honest, when I first heard that it was a quartz model, I didn't really think much about it at all, much less with a dial lacking pretty much any markers, especially for a two-watch person like me. But now that I've had the opportunity to test one out in person, I am genuinely surprised at how much I actually like it, and I could potentially see one in my collection. And that wraps things up for this review. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please give a like and subscribe down below.